As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
Shane Beamer. South Carolina extending Shane Beamer, got a big pay raise, contract extended out until 2030. Going to be making over $8 million a year, $100,000 a year pay raise with that as well. Up from, like 6.5 million that he was making. So, also includes a buyout deal for if he was to leave and go somewhere else. But that's a nice contract for Shane Beamer.
When he comes on the podcast this year, I think we have to just refer to him as Big Money Beamer now, right?
Money Beamer. That's right. That's funny. And I'll say South Carolina, I think the pressure's on. They they had a good year. And we've seen it kind of historically with South Carolina. What you get is you get a nice run up, ramp up, a strong year, and then they kind of fade for a couple more years until they get the right guys, seniors, and then they have another good run. They got a really good quarterback in Sellers, but they are losing a bunch of players. They're losing, potentially a first round edge guy. And I know they got Stewart coming back, but both of those guys was what made that issue really tough for you. They had a ton of seniors on defense, 8, 9 seniors on defense. So it's a big year for South Carolina because a lot of people are going to have high expectations. Are they going to be able to have the talent that can pull it off?
You think Shane's glad this happened so that the stories of him and Brett Bielema get knocked down on like the search engine stuff?
Yeah, probably.
That was awesome. I let the two men go at it, people. What are we doing? Breaking those guys up. Let them go at it. It's
You know,
football. Just two men talking. Let them have a necessary conversation.
Beamer, he's one of those coaches that stick around for the post-game press conference. You never know what you're going to get. He's animated over on the sideline. He's a fun coach to watch. I'm happy he got the big deal.
He's the most likable guy of all time.
Yep.
And unfortunately now we play his team, so I can't root for them the way that I used to.
I will say I'm really looking forward to that road trip. Heard
Oh
great things
yeah.
about that place.
Oh yeah. It place looks fun.
It does.
Looks like a fun place to call a football game. Cannot wait. Be good to see big money Beamer in his natural habitat.
Big money Beamer. It's awesome.
Who do you have as your loser of the week?
We got the Senior Bowl going on. Some guys are making money, some guys are losing money, and it sounds like Milroe, quarterback from Alabama, has had a rough go of it so far at quarterback. They're saying that he's a tough evaluation. I thought it was interesting. One coach said that he's not nearly as big as I thought, and he's got a big physical build to him, but I think he weighed in at like 220, 225 there. Listed like maybe 6'1", 6'2". So not as big as they thought. And the accuracy problems that we saw throughout his tenure at Alabama look like they've continued on. While other guys like Dillon Gabriel perhaps making some money. He's having a great showing.
Looks sharp. Helmet is awesome. The custom Oregon OU UCF helmet. Well done. But there's no way he threw the ball 74 miles an hour. There's just no way. What are we even talking about? That was a statistical error. I don't know what happened, but
Must have caught a car on the highway back in the background going by or something. I don't know, but he's got, I've watched a lot of the clips. He's got a good arm. He looks good. He's throwing some awesome deep balls. Accuracy's been really impressive, but we all know that he does not have a stronger arm than Joe Milton and Josh Allen.
12 miles per hour faster than Josh Allen, who has an absolute cannon attached to his right arm. No,
Throws it like 90 yards. No, I don't
no.
think so.
And I don't think anyone's ever gone. Dillon Gabriel just has, I mean, his velocity's insane. So that was just an error of some sort. Some wires got crossed in whatever technology exists that produces that, but I'm rooting for him, man. He's a
Yeah.
hard guy not to root for, and he's making money. And you mentioned Milroe. Did you see who picked him off?
Mm-mm.
Billy Bowman.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. I saw his intercept. I didn't know that Milroe threw that. He's had
Yeah.
a. People are really impressed with him, which is not a shock.
No, the one thing working against Billy is he doesn't have the ideal size, but from the people that are down there that I've talked to, Jacob Hester had him on a list of, I think it was 5 guys, like as one of the winners of day one of practice.
Yeah.
And Hester knows ball. So he clearly, his coverage skills, his quickness, his suddenness, it really looks like it's standing out down there in Mobile, which is great for Billy. I don't know if I don't know even know where to guess what round he's going to go in because of the size factor, but there's no doubt in my mind through one practice, Billy Bowman has made himself money down in Mobile.
He is a rare mix of versatility. He can cover well. He's incredibly physical, and his size is down for the position that he plays, but he makes up for it with explosiveness. He's got great top end speed. So even though like he doesn't check the box maybe on where you want to be traits wise, he has some things that make up for it. And he's just a hell of a football player. He can do everything. And I think that's showing well.
Wish Stutzman would have gone,
I know.
but I get it. And I texted Danny about it, and he just basically said, I've played a lot of football. Think I put everything I need to put on tape. Wants to get ready for the combine. Totally understand that. I think that's fair. And I don't know how much you can improve your stock at the Senior Bowl at inside backer. That's one of those positions where there's not a bunch of one-on-one coverage stuff. They do some of that
One on one with the running
with the
backs,
running
which is a
backs.
very difficult drill. I mean, it's like it's probably the hardest drill. It's nothing like covering a running back in a game.
But I
You
think
know,
inside backer is low on the list of positions that can really boost their stock in an all-star game like that.
yeah, you may be right. Yep.
It's like D line, O line, you've got the one on one stuff. Same thing for wide receiver, DB, like inside backer. Hey, can you get everyone lined up? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I think that I'm hoping that Stutzman made the right choice and he tests really, really well at the combine, getting
Yep.
in the extra week of training.
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Yeah. And I'm really not worried about him. I think he'll probably test well, and he's got great film, and he's got really good personality. People are going to really like the interview sessions with him, so he'll be just fine.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
We are brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. Turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Now, I got my eyes on the big game next Sunday, Super Bowl, and we'll be selecting Patrick Mahomes more than a half yard passing. Yes, more than point 0.5 passing yards. Just giving that square to you guys. I mean, I think we can all assume Mahomes is going to check that box, and then taking Saquon Barkley less than 114 and a half rushing yards. Prize Picks puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
and are you planning an exciting trip this year? I bet something you might not be planning is learning the local language. Well, with Babbel, you only need a few weeks to learn. And here's a special offer for our listeners, and it's only for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Oklahoma. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Just use Babbel. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel also has live classes available 7 days a week, and at any time of day, they are taught by over 450 certified teachers, so you can learn on your schedule. Don't let the language gap hold you back from taking your dream vacation. If you want to speak more than one language, Babbel can help. Travel more and be more comfortable where you're going with Babbel. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/Oklahoma. That's BABBEL.com/Oklahoma. Rules and restrictions may apply. For my winner of the week, thought about going with Baker Mayfield, Pro Bowler Baker Mayfield. Travesty
Nice.
that he didn't make it initially, but it got corrected. He is a Pro Bowler, and he is the first Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback to earn multiple Pro Bowl invitations in franchise history.
Is that crazy or what?
It's awesome. Not bad, Bake. Way to go.
Yeah, that's impressive. Good for him. And a team like that that's had some amazing ups in their franchise history. That's surprising.
Also thought about going with TGL. Did you see that one?
That was a good one.
Tiger, Rory, Tom Kim yelling at everyone. Went to overtime, which, by the way, the pitch shots closer to the pin for overtime, it's like almost penalty kick style. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But I have to imagine when they put this league together, that's what they envisioned. I was locked in, man. And I think
Yeah.
everyone, it got glowing reviews. It was by far the best thing that they put out. And when those things are really competitive, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. I love the overtime. It's like whenever you walk off the 18th green with your friends and there's tide and everyone has to get home, you just have a quick little chip off. That's the way to do it. That's fun. I like that.
That was great. But my winner of the week, Ted, should you ever cooperate with the NCAA?
No, of
No, no, of course not.
course not. What are we talking about here?
Which is why Michigan football is my winner of the week. Don't cooperate. They are not cooperating. Yahoo Sports' Ross Dellinger reported that Michigan sent the AA something earlier this month saying they believe the NCAA grossly overreached and wildly overcharged the program without credible evidence that other staff members knew about Connor Stalions and his in-person scouting signal stealing system. 137-page document they've sent over there.
Wow.
And from what Dellinger said, it basically makes it clear that Michigan will not enter into a negotiated resolution with the NCAA over the alleged wrongdoing. Great job, Michigan. Never cooperate. I was very happy to see it. Now, I think Michigan crossed the line with that whole thing. I would call that cheating, what Connor Stalions did. That doesn't change how I feel about that situation. But I think they're doing the absolute right thing by not cooperating with the NCAA.
Yeah, NCAA has proved, and maybe they were always this way, but everyone is it feels like everyone's kind of come to the same conclusion. Toothless tiger, no need to cooperate. Just move on, go about your business.
We'll see what ultimately comes of that. 6 of the 11 violations are level 1 violations. Interesting to see what happens with Sharon Moore with the deleted text messages and all that type of stuff. But maybe the most interesting thing was that Stallions got snitched on by someone associated with Michigan in
Huh.
some way. So that I thought that was interesting. But yeah, not cooperating. I think it's a good call. Ultimately, the lawyers are the winners in this entire situation. Always
Listen,
be billing, baby.
billable hours, just the clock just sitting there rolling over, right? That's right. Yep. No, but I mean, I can't blame Michigan. Some of the stuff is I don't know. It's just the NCAA has always, you know, there's not like a consistent level across the board with them, what they're gonna, the punishment they're gonna throw at people. And I think everyone's just sick of it. They just move on.
We'll see what happens. I I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be a lot of
Nothing will
fun.
happen. What's the update on the Kansas NCAA lawsuit from, I don't know, 10 years ago whenever they got caught paying players? What, any resolution on that thing? No.
No, because they didn't cooperate. Oklahoma
Right.
State did.
Yeah.
Ask Mike
Got
Boynton
hammered.
how that went. I bet
Got
he
hammered.
still just wakes up every morning hating the NCAA.
Yep. And rightfully so.
My loser of the week, Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys fans, Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know. The whole group. Ted, I was interested. I checked out Schottenheimer's introductory press conference just to see what he had to say. It's an interesting set of circumstances. He's very close to Mike McCarthy. McCarthy doesn't get re signed. He ends up being the guy, which no one really saw coming. And to Brian Schottenheimer's credit, he said all the right things. I thought he handled his portion of the press conference very well. Talked about his vision for the Cowboys, and that offense spoke glowingly of Dak Prescott. And then there was whatever the hell that was from Jerry Jones. Dude, what was that?
I I don't know. I maybe he blacked out while he was just talking and just kept going.
They asked him why he hired Schottenheimer, and he immediately got super defensive and talked for legitimately 10 straight minutes about his career and all of this stuff. I mean, dude, they just asked you why you hired him. Just say, I think he's a great football coach. I think he's going to lead the organization in a great way. Like, that was so weird. And Cowboys fans had to be sitting there going, what is happening? It turned into the Jerry Jones show. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, I guess I maybe that shows that he doesn't feel very good about it if the simple question makes him get all defensive and has to explain his life story, right?
I think he was trying to say, my favorite part was, I think he was trying to compliment Schottenheimer, but he was like, this is as big of a risk as you could take. No head coaching experience. And Schottenheimer's just sitting there like, what's going on, man? Because I think he was trying to say, oh, people just say I only do things in my comfort zone and hire my friends and blah blah. No, no, no. I hired this guy. it was it
Well,
was so strange, man.
who what was more awkward, that or Liam Cohen with the Jaguars? His
Duval. That Liam Cohen's goofiness got completely buried because Jerry Jones is, I mean, just like you said, he just blacked out and wouldn't stop talking. It was so weird.
I I I could not watch the Liam Cohen thing.
I
I
watched
could
it 20 times.
I couldn't. I was just I don't know. I
It was
got
so goofy that it makes me think he's going to crush it there.
there might be something to that. It was just as a Jaguars fan, it's like you expect your coach to be like well put together and come up there and crush it, say all the right things, win the press conference or whatever. Not that any of that matters, but with him, you had to walk away saying, "I don't know, man. This is awkward."
It If I was a Jaguars fan, what would give me hope is, do you remember Nick Sirianni's initial
Yeah,
press conference? That was about as weird as it gets.
yeah.
And the guy's going to his second Super Bowl next Sunday.
Now,
So
not all awkward introductory press conferences are good though. What about whenever Adam Gase looked like he just hit the crack pipe before he came out?
that one, not good. Not good. And you're right. Ultimately, the press conference doesn't matter, but the Cowboys situation, it wasn't the coach. It was the
Yeah.
owner and GM who makes all the personnel decisions, which Cowboys fans have to be going, oh my gosh, we're never going to the playoffs. We're
I
never
think
like,
they're probably used to it at this point, though, right? Cowboys fans,
you think they're just unfazed. But
unfazed.
this is the thing. When when you hire a new coach, I think as an NFL fan or as a college fan, you just want to feel hope. You just want to feel a little excitement
Some stability.
and that's exactly what New England got when they hired Vrabel.
Hmm.
That fan base is ecstatic. Aaron Glenn with the Jets, right? With what he did with that defense in Detroit. Ben Johnson with the Bears, what he's done with that offense in Detroit. Hell, Pete Carroll and John Spytek, they destroyed that opening press conference. The energy was just, you could feel it.
And
Liam
then the
Cohen,
Saints,
I don't know. What? Kellen Moore?
I don't know what they're going to do. That's what it's looking right, right? Kellen Moore. They've had a bunch of guys kind of turn their nose up and say no thanks.
But Cowboys fans had to just see that and go, what are we doing?
What are we doing,
What
guys?
is
Come on.
happening?
That's
I
funny.
mean, Jerry Jones, to say he mishandled that press conference would be quite the understatement. And in a weird way, watching that unfold, it makes me hope Brian Schottenheimer goes out there and crushes it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know, man. And there's big names, big hires where you feel like, you like New England going with Vrabel. Like it's the easy way to go. You feel like it's solid, it's stable. But, all the best coaches had their first opportunity, and who knows what people thought about it in those first times they got hired. So you never know.
I I feel for you Cowboys fans. Good luck.